So tonight we are having bistec encebollado, ensalada aguacate, and arroz con frijoles negro. What is that, you ask? That is steak with onions, an avocado salad, and black beans and rice. We're just gonna do things a little differently, and this is Cuban food. This is what makes me happy, and it may take a little longer, but I hope you enjoy it. We're first gonna start with the beginnings of avocado salad. So first of all, for Cuban people, we use more of this Caribbean avocado. So here is the Caribbean avocado. Some people call it the skinny avocado, and this is a regular Hass avocado. This one's kind of small, usually they're much bigger. This one has less fat to it. This one is still pretty yummy. I'm gonna make mine with a mixture of both. So you need avocados, you need limes, you need garlic, red onions, white onions, parsley, meat, all kinds of things. But we're gonna first start, because to make the avocado salad, we have to sort of pickle, I know that's kind of interesting, pickle some onions. And with avocado salad, you normally use red onion. So there's a couple ways that you can do this. It can be real fancy and just like chop away. I don't know if that's fancy or not. I think it's time consuming and whatever, but here we go. Take out that outside rim. Ooh, lots of peel here today. You can cut this really thinly yourself, or put that in the sink. Here we go. I'm bringing out the mandolin again. I think I showed you guys this before. This is a mandolin. It has pretty much a razor blade or a knife right in there. This one is not on julienne, so it's just gonna be super thin. And normally you do have a guard. I don't have a guard. I'm just gonna cut just a few onions. Like, this is about half. Put that back over there. And we're gonna put the onions right here. So with the avocado salad, there's really not much to it. It's salt, pepper, olive oil, and pickled onions. And you don't pickle it for a really long time. This is white vinegar, but you need to let the onions sit in this vinegar for at least 30 minutes or so. It kind of cooks them through. It takes out the too much of an onion in there. So we'll let them sit. That's the first step of dinner. And then this, look, this one, just pull it across. How easy. Okay, so pickled onions, done. Putting that aside. The next thing we have to do is we have to prep up the meat. And this meat right here, I hope you can see this okay. You can get it at the grocery store. It is top round. It's not gonna be your fancy like sirloin. Well, don't use filet. Just go get top sirloin. That's all that is. And this is really thin. Sometimes you can just use cubed meat if you want. Washing my hands real quick. Let me get a different cutting board real quick. Alrighty, so for this, we're gonna layer this up and let it begin to marinate. Alrighty, here is your steak, and I have a meat cleaver. We're just gonna pound it slightly. Okay, you don't have to pound it. Like I said, you can just go ahead and get cubed meat from the grocery store. That one is thin enough. This one, look, they gave me a big old thick steak. And this one is just a little on the edges. By the way, this meat cleaver is from my great grandmother. When my family came here from Cuba, they didn't have anything. They were able to leave with one change of clothes. So everything that we had was either given or from the Salvation Army. And this meat cleaver, I don't know where it came from. I don't know how old it is. But it makes me happy that it's here because it's been a part of my family since the 60s. Alrighty, so there is the beginnings. Let me wash my hands. Alrighty, the next thing, to marinate this, we've got to get more onions, and this time some garlic. Alrighty, so for this, we're going to use white onions. Okay, you can use yellow onions instead of white onions if you prefer. Sometimes people call these white onions, they call them Spanish onions. I really have no idea why. Even if you just have Vidalia onions, they're pretty good too. So hang tight. Ooh, this one's hard to peel. Good gravy. All right, so we've got our bistec in there. Now we're gonna get our cebolla. Bistec is the meat, cebolla is the onion. And we're just going to use our mandolin. It's so much faster, and it's really great, oops, is that it's all the same width. It makes things so much better. All right, so we've got onions there, and then I'm gonna have to cut a little bit of the edge off just because it's not fitting on my mandolin. All right, so here we go, some more. Super easy. All right, so we have our cebolla. That looks like a lot. It is a lot. It's gonna be delicious. I'm super duper excited. And I'm not crying. I don't even know how that's possible. The other thing that we need is garlic. So use fresh garlic. And you can use the powder when you're in a hurry, that's fine. But let's just use some fresh garlic. I think we'll go with 1 clove for each bistec. Let me wipe this off. Alrighty. So, an easy way to peel your garlic is garlic bulb and smash. Then all of the skin comes right off. Easy parcheesi. The next one, here we go. A good smash and whack right there. Yep, no more skin. And then these are 2 pieces, there we go. Here we go, garlic is done. Ooh, this one is making my eyes water. That's pungent. And the final one. Now, we're just gonna run this knife through pretty good. I like this one. Make sure that there's no skins. That is really harsh. And then all the way through. So some folks might use, there's a jar of already minced garlic. I like just fresh, make it go. All the way through again. It doesn't have to be any specific size. Some pieces are gonna be bigger than other pieces. Some are gonna be smaller. Some are gonna be just kind of mashed up. And that's okay. All right, so we put that into rinse that off a little bit. Now, we've got our bistec, onions, garlic. The next thing that we have, every Cuban girl knows Goya. This is Goya adobo. And I'm just gonna be a little heavy-handed. It's like a complete seasoning, I guess you could say. There we go. There's your adobo. I think it's probably a half teaspoon or something like that. adobo, and then I thought oh yes, that's right. We have a little bit of vinegar. This is probably about 2 tablespoons of vinegar, and lime. You need the juice of 2 limes. So if you didn't know, you should roll your citrus before you cut it. It helps the juice come out a little easier. And then, here we go. Growing up, my great-grandmother would make this, and it would be in this big bowl in the refrigerator. And it's I'm gonna say it can be kind of pungent. And it would sit in the refrigerator for half the day. I would tell you, it can sit in the refrigerator and maybe without the acid, so without the lime and the vinegar, because lime and vinegar, their acids are gonna cook your meats. So with the onions, garlic, adobo, it can sit in there forever. But when you add the acids, about 15 minutes, your meat will go from this bright pink color to a grayish color, or a darker color, a little more brown, because the acids are cooking that meat. All right, so this is now marinating. It's very simple, very clean. And I'm gonna put some cellophane over that as well. Seriously, this is so much fun. I don't know why, but I love the fact that I don't have to tear it anymore. There we go. Now, if I didn't have, or if I wasn't ready to cook this anytime soon, I would just slide this into the refrigerator. But because I'm planning on cooking this probably in the next 15-20 minutes, I'm leaving this out so that the meat stays at room temperature. So from here, I'm just gonna let this sit and marinate, and I'm gonna start working on our avocado salad and our rice. Let me clean up just a little bit. All right, so avocado salad. We're just gonna cut this while we're here. This is your regular Caribbean avocado. How you know it's ripe is you can shake it and you can feel the seed going back and forth, or the pit. And then you just cut around. Oops, I didn't get it all the way around. It's bright yellow too. And then this should just fall out. It did. Okay, now, you've probably seen this on TV. You can just score it in chunks like that. Sometimes you can, let's see if it'll happen. You can push the skin back and through, and the pieces just fall right out. There we go. Hooray. That's one. This is our second one, for the half. Okay. This makes me super happy, by the way. Okay. Wash my hands. And then I'm gonna also use the Haas. So Haas are kind of hard, literally, these are a little bit hard. They need to be a little soft. Sometimes they're hard to figure out if it's gonna be ripe or not. Again, all the way around. And ooh, it popped right out on that side. Then how you get the seed out is, oops, and then it holds right there. That might be kind of dangerous. Don't let your children do that. And then this one's good. Score it up. I'm gonna score this one up. It's kind of like when you're making, what is this? guacamole. Yeah. I'm gonna get a spoon. Alrighty, so now just spoon that in there. Can you see it? I hope you can see it. I hope I'm doing that all right. And we've got chunks. And I like it because you've got two different colors. And what's interesting is even though that they're both avocados or aguacates, these two have different textures. So there's avocado there. You can take a little bit of lime on this one as well. It'll protect the color, give it a little acid, and some olive oil. Ooh, it's not wanting to come up. Oh, that was a dry lime. One more. Very dry lime. Here we go, this one. There we go, much better. Just a little bit of lime juice, and that'll help it keep its color. And we'll set that aside. Very easy. We'll hit it with some white vinegar and a smidge of olive oil. And when it comes time to serve, you'll put your pickled onions on top. And I'll show you what that looks like too. So we'll put that aside. The next thing is cleanup. Alrighty. The next thing we need to do is prep for some rice. I make homemade rice, and I don't use the bag rice. I've never been really good at it. So it's 3 cups of water, 2 cups of rice, and then you cook it for about 20 minutes. And I also put in like a teaspoon of salt, and you're good to go. So we've got rice. And then I'm gonna make the steak, and we'll be, oh, good. Oh, and one last thing, just because these are good. It is black bean soup. If you're not wanting to make your black beans from scratch, which takes 24 hours, just go get Goya black bean soup. It's delicious, and you really don't need any seasoning. It's already seasoned and good. So those are the black beans that we're gonna have for there. So I'll get ready to cook. Let me put this on pause. All right, it is now time to get our bistec in the pan and get cooking. So this is the pan. It's a cast iron, it's a sartén. This was my great grandmother's as well. And we're gonna put 1 steak in. So here we go. Now with a bistec, oh, I think it's gonna be bigger than my pan. I might have to cut it. With a bistec, these are normally cooked to where they're well done. So it's a good 3 or 4 minutes on each side. I have 1 small sartén and multiple steaks. So I'm going to cook each one, and then I'm going to put it on a cooking sheet and slide it into the oven to keep warm while I cook down the onions. The other thing that we have going on is our rice. So again, 3 cups of water, 2 cups of rice, some olive oil and salt, and we're good to go. And I've got 4 minutes left there. So let's see. We're just gonna keep this going for a minute, and that's all it is cook away. All right, so the last part is the rice. And this is regular homemade rice. Steam. It's delicious. But right now I'm trying really hard to work on my carb intake. So this is gonna be for my boys and my husband. I am going to have something called Miracle Rice. And 1 serving is 5 calories, and there's 3 total carbohydrates. So this fits where I need. And inside there's a little pouch, and you pour, strain it, rinse it really well, And then to make it taste really good, you put it into the pan where we were making the bistecs before. So it kind of absorbs all of the flavor, and it's like it gives itself gravy. So, and I love some gravy. So we're just gonna cook that through, and it's like using the fond from the pan. It's great. So this will be my rice for tonight, already with salsita. So thank you very much. I wanted to make sure you knew about that. And we'll plate up in just a minute. So I really appreciate taking the time to listen to an entire Cuban dinner. It means a lot. So I hope you try it at your house. It's pretty yummy. See ya. Bye.